Hi everyone, I'm glad to be back with this new video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the times of apocalypse and revelation. Of course, we are in it right now, and something that is quite important also that we have to really consider right now, which is learning how to navigate the highest timelines possible. Because as you know, we are in a period where it's going to be quite chaotic, and things are going to start moving faster and faster, and it's really important to realize how we are conscious creators and how we can connect to the highest timelines for us. And I have a special gift for you. I would like to offer a free meditation. It's called Meditation for Letting Go. It's also a kind of hypnosis, and it really helps us to let go of what we no longer need in order to be really in a positive state. And in order to receive that free meditation, all you need to do is to navigate to my website, gabrielleisis.com, and subscribe to the newsletter, and then you will receive a mail with a link to that meditation. Since the announcement of the death of the Queen of England, there has been a big shift in reality on this planet, because this announcement acted almost like there was a big dam that was lifted, and a huge flow of really positive things are going to come after that. So we might say also a kind of acceleration of revelation with a capital R. So a lot of things that were hidden that are going to emerge and come out more and more quickly, of course. So basically, you all probably know what apocalypse means in Greek. It means revelation, and revelation comes from the Latin revelare, which means to lift the veil. So lifting the veil over what was hidden. And of course, what we can understand through that term is also the lifting of the veil over things that were hidden for humanity, for the human consciousness, but also overall the shadow aspect of humanity that will be revealed. So we might really see more and more truths coming out. So of course I'm talking about, some information that has been hidden to the eyes of the humans for millennia now, and probably also things that are not very pretty to see, not pretty to watch. I know that some of you are aware already about these things, some of you may not be aware, but anyway, these things really need to come out now. But also fundamentally, when I talk about truth, and I talk about the truth with a capital T, it is also the truth of who we are, our true divine nature that will be revealed to us. And so with that, it's also the death of ego consciousness. Ego consciousness, of course, has been ruling this planet for some centuries now, and which has also, maybe projected things as absolute truths to us, but now we really understand how these things that we were, served in a way, were not true, were not the ultimate truth of who we were. Ego consciousness has kind of locked humanity in a certain consciousness where it didn't have access anymore to ancestral knowledge and spiritual knowledge, and therefore we have forgotten that we are spiritual beings coming to have this experience through matter, but we are not matter. Matter is an illusion, and we are not our bodies. We are something much more bigger than that. And so it is the truth of who we are, our true divine nature, that is more and more going to be revealed to us. But for that, we need to really abandon all these false beliefs that we have been fed for millennia now. And the ego consciousness also locked the human consciousness in what we call fear and lack mentality. So when we are blocked in fear or lack mentality, we don't have access to our true nature, and we don't have access to the highest possibilities for us. But we need really to remind ourselves that we are these limitless beings of light, and we are, we have all these infinite possibilities that is, available to us, and we can connect to anything that we wish to connect in this life. So on a quantum level, of course, we have these infinite timelines in front of us that coexist simultaneously. And this is something that our 3D brain has a hard time to understand, because it is not meant to understand these quantum aspects of the universe. It is not meant to understand the higher consciousness. It is not meant to understand these, higher levels of awareness. And so it can only understand, it can only, function in this 3D world. And the problem is when the ego tries to, holds the grip and tries to control everything in our reality. So we need really to get rid of this illusion that we thought we were, in order really to connect to the highest aspects of who we are. And so because there are these infinite timelines out there, there are different versions of ourselves. So even what we call past lives or future lives, they actually coexist in one present moment, because the linear time only exists in the physical. It doesn't exist as an ultimate truth of the universe. It is only the present moment that exists. So there's also out there our highest aspect, our highest version of ourselves, and it is also possible to connect more and more to that aspect if we wish to do that. So the only moment where this unlimited potential of who we are exists is in the present moment. It's in the now, and we can access that through our consciousness. So what do we need to do in order to do that, to achieve that? We need to connect to our higher mind, so the higher consciousness, our divine aspect, our unlimited aspect, but also to our hearts, because it is through the desires of our heart that, will emerge the desire to connect to a certain reality. So it's not the desire of our mind or our ego, which is completely different and a completely different energy. It's really deep within our heart. Our desires that are deep within our hearts, that we connect to and that guide us as an intuition or a little voice inside that tells us you should go this way. And so this is really important right now, is really to realize how we have this creative power inside to really manifest into matter what we hold as a desire deep inside our hearts. So we are in this period of big shift on Earth, and we need to realize also that the biggest shift happens inside. So it's also really interesting to see these times of revelation as also revelations that we have within, So it's realizing who we are not in order to realize who we truly are, which means that we might go through some periods where a lot of, shadow aspects might come up. Of course, we talk about the shadow aspects of the collective, the human collective, but the most important part is really what we discover about ourselves. So this is really going to come up really strongly, and also many of us are going to have very powerful dreams where it's kind of like the subconscious purges itself through the dreams that we are having. This is also really part of this process of transmutation and shifting really into this new reality. And of course, the more light there is on this planet, the more, the highest the vibration, the less there is going to be for the shadow space to hide, actually, because the shadow loves to hide, as I was saying in the beginning of this video, it was hiding behind the veil. And so now there is less and less space and spots for the shadow to hide. So it's like a huge, light that is projected onto Earth. And so this will happen within ourselves, but also maybe people that we know, seeing more and more shadow aspects of these people emerging and becoming really strongly present. But also, of course, in the collective, because we are going to see probably a lot of dark things emerge that are becoming more and more visible to the eyes of humans. But this is in order really for humans to realize all this shadow aspect of the collective that needs to be transmuted and cleansed in order to really access the highest potential for this planet. And I know that some of you know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about really dark stuff. Maybe some of you are not aware of this stuff yet, but nevertheless, it's really important to become aware of these things, because it really it really affects all of us in a way, in a subconscious way, and because it has been present for so long on this planet, and it needs now just to go. It needs to be transmuted now. So quite literally, some people will not be able to handle the information, also because the information is connected also to the energy. They both go together. So when they receive the information, they receive the energy. And I had a dream a couple of weeks ago where I was in Paris, and I haven't been physically to Paris for a very long time, but sometimes I go there during my sleep in astral. And what I experienced was I was on the streets of Paris, and all around me there was this very electric energy, chaotic energy, and people who were literally becoming mad. So really losing it, like talking by themselves, and completely disoriented and not knowing where they were going or who they were anymore. And I feel that's something that we will also maybe see more and more. These people that are not prepared, these people that will, really completely lose it because they are lost. And it's not, to manifest any fear. I'm not sharing that for that reason, but really just to be aware and to be prepared for what is coming, because the energies that are coming this fall are pretty intense, as I said in my last video. It's so important really to detach from the chaos and detach from the drama that is going on, and also realize that when we are connected to the highest timelines, the negative timelines do not affect us. This is really the illusion. And so this really leads to a decision that we need to make. And the decision is, are we going to continue to believe in the illusion, or are we going to let the illusion within ourselves die so we can really realize this true divine nature that we are? Or are we going to let the ego and the mind continue to do its tricks and continue to drag us down to maybe a past that is painful, or projecting really horrible and scary stuff into the future? Or are we just gonna, connect with the present moment and ask ourselves this question: what am I choosing today? So what is the choice I'm making, and what reality do I want to experience? And we are really being tested with our fear right now, our fear of the future, fear of the apocalypse, fear of what is happening in the collective. Mainstream media is all about fear. Sometimes even in the spiritual community, it's all about fear. It's all about projecting really horrible stuff that is going to happen. And maybe none of it is true. Maybe some of it is true on a certain level, but what are we choosing today, here in the here and now? What do we choose to connect to in the here and now? We have that power. So I'm asking that to you. What is the choice you're making today? Sat Nam. Take care.